Hello, everyone. How day? Welcome. Welcome to NDISCO'S Village Meeting Podcast. I am your hostess, or host, like some might call me, Dr. Marcellina Ndidi M.OPARAOJI. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, or listening or watching from. I appreciate you being here. How's it going? It's almost the end of the week already. We are grateful deeply for all the opportunities we are given day to day. And so today we continue our journey on Africa, society, and culture. And sometimes we go beyond that, like on this topic that we've been talking about, and embrace the world where they stand with us on such arena. And we're talking about where we left off from series 3, episode 28, which is asking the question, why do some people find aging, you know, um, joyful, embrace with both hands, while some don't look forward to it, they loathe it, they dread when you mention the word aging or age, another birthday, it's a source of a headache for them instead of fun. So we started digging into that. In our episode 28, 8, we found definitions of aging. We also looked into when aging starts. People think it's okay when you get your 50, 60, 80, 90, you're aging. No, you start, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, from 20. That's when things start changing. And go to that episode and you will find the um, uh, basis of where we stand to go further into this topic. Without much ado, I will take us into this next aspect of asking more about um, this topic. And so, oops, wonderful. So, when we ask first, why are people happy about it? How are people not happy about aging? We jumped into the next episode of asking and try to help. But especially for those who are finding it difficult to embrace aging gracefully, that is, those who loathe it and not knowing what to do about it, it's never too late to change, how your outlook on stuff. That's what I believe in. Provided you're breathing, you get up every day, even when you're sick, you still have the opportunity to think about, okay, now this is done. What else? What next? How can we move from point A to point B? That's, I think, the faculty that God has given us to be able to navigate this world arena that He bestowed on us. So I tried to find some helping tips to consider, for people to consider when they are feeling bad that another birthday is coming about, that they're aging not gracefully, but what they see when they look at the mirror. Um, that's why sometimes you find people say they don't have mirrors to look at. And when some people, when they look in the mirror, they really see actually what is there and trying to make a difference and what they want and what is. Sometimes people look at the mirror, they love what they see, even if the world outside see it differently. And that's the joy of enjoying your aging, is that it gives you that flexibility to accept what others cannot accept about you. And you tell them, this is me. Take it or leave it, instead of living at the mercy of them telling you what exactly they want to do, who exactly they want you to be, and how exactly they want you to act. When it comes to that, you're no longer yourself. You are somebody else, a puppet. And not it's okay for people who want to be puppets, but if you are being that to the detriment of your own happiness, then you've lost it. I mean, I think the 6 feet under might be beckoning you maybe for a better abode than to stand on top of the soil that God has created and make a fool or make life nothing to live in. Having said that, we are trying to give helping tips to those who are finding it difficult to embrace aging, to embrace their age, to embrace every birthday and what life has dished to us. Granted, most of the time we don't have it all. Nobody does. I keep saying, when you think the grass is greener on the other side, think again. Nobody, nobody has 800%. Even the richest. Money does not buy everything. Some people who have money can't even eat what they like. Some people who have all these luxurious buildings don't sleep in them sometimes. You can count on your fingers just few who enjoy all that at the same time living life. There are very few. But for those who outside looking into these people's lives and thinking they are better off, and so woe be me, they cry at the side. Hogwash. Wake up, smell the coffee, smell the roses as you walk, enjoy life. Whatever is dish to you is what you have. So let's get it now. I'm preaching. I don't preach. I'm not a preacher, but let's dig in and see what is going on here. Okay. So the question here is, how do we build? See if we can build this some back. Spoil everything. It's just, there you go. So how do we build a positive mindset about aging? Okay. So the first thing that the schools of thought think we should do is to deconstruct our internalized stereotypes. What do they mean by that? We have built in our minds who we are supposed to be, and we didn't become those. What we are supposed to do or become that we never became, things we are supposed to have we never had, where we are supposed to be that we never got to. All those. Apart from that, what the world has labeled on us. So you are 30, there are certain things you should have accomplished. Who said that? So because you are 20, at 25, you should have had a degree or a skill or something. Well, it might be true, but who said that's the way it should be? Because there are people at 20 who are millionaires and billionaires. Go figure. Who said at 60 you should have accomplished everything and then you retire and it's time to crawl into your skin? And who said that? Those are the stereotypes that the society dished on us. Remember the societal pressures? So we internalize those and think it should be, you are an adult, you shouldn't laugh. Okay? You are a married woman that you can't even really talk to somebody else out there, even a colleague. You can't even breathe. You can't go out by yourself. You are a married man, so you can't talk to another girl or woman that is, even if it's your colleague. You are old. There are certain clothes you cannot wear anymore. You are old man. Why are you dressing like that and looking so preppy? What in the world is society putting on everyone else? So, other than that, in the African arena, the culture even stereotypes some more. You need to be seen at a certain arenas and not heard. and you got to keep your mouth shut. You cannot do X, you cannot do Z because you are married, because you're a human being, you are a woman, you are because you are a first daughter, because you're a second daughter, you're a last born, you are a first son, you are, oh my gosh. So when we internalize all this, there are some aspects to them that are also aging aspects that are also stereotyped. And when that happens, we are looking inside and feeling bad about whatever we have thought in our minds could make us happier or better. And so we're stuck. Now, we are being asked to deconstruct those, think outside of that constructed, internalized stereotype. Think forward. What do you, as a person, would like to do without, though, breaking the rules, stepping on somebody else's toes, still abiding by certain cultures that make sense or traditions that make sense? And also, if you are in the Christian or whatever arena, um, keeping to the rules of, like I said before, when you have done all that and you're not a nuisance to the public, you have your life to live. That's one of the advantages of the joy of getting older. The second is actively focusing on the advantages of growing old. Yes, that is things we saw on in episode 28. Say, one of those is you're now independent. This air of independence. Independent not to hurt somebody else, but independent not to hurt yourself either. Have that free mind. That's an advantage. Being that confident to do what you're supposed to do. That is the advantage. Self-acceptance. Remember we talked about that? Okay. Because if you do not accept yourself, nobody else will. Because they are telling you what exactly you need to be or do to your own detriment, because you're not going to be happy playing that. But when you are yourself, you can then help somebody else. Like we said, unless you are happy from within, you cannot make somebody else happy. So you got to do that. So actively focus on the advantages of growing old. There are so many of them. And so we're trying to pull those who think aging is not really a good thing for them. They dread that. This is an idea or a way to pull yourself out of that. Because according to Dr. Becca Levy, she is at the School of Public Health at Yale. So she did a research, where she proved that positive age beliefs can actually help people recover from mild cognitive declines and improve physical function. So if you're already down, she's saying there are things that you could do to improve yourself and get out of the gutter. Okay? Because you put yourself in there. Yeah, society may have done it, but you allow the society to come into you to do that. But when you feel like you got something that you can share and you got something that is troubling you, is for you to like, how do I get out of that? And that's the rule of life, the rule of living. Um, let's look at how the question now is, how do you shift your mindset? Because the thing that is told us here is for you to be able to accept aging and not loathe it, is to shift your mindset. So the question, anybody will ask, and in that conversation, somebody was asking, how do other people do it? How do they, like accept and go their ways as if life is all theirs? And we say to them, it's your mindset. It's all in your mind. Nobody actually is putting that on you. Yeah, people will always talk. God gave them mouth to do that. That's what I will say. But to affect you, it's a different realm altogether. So we have proposed some ways you could shift your mindset to really look inside you and get the best out of you. So here are some proposed practical evidence-based. When we say evidence-based, that means people have tried that and it worked. Evidence is there, is empirically done. So the first thing they say is focus on what you can control. I am a believer in that. There are certain things you cannot control in life. And for you to dwell your energy on that is a waste. Okay. So things like daily sleep soundly, nutrition, eating the best nutrients out there, nourishing food, that's up to you, nobody else. And the funny thing is that today, you don't have to spend too much to really get nourishing food. The fresh, as they come, especially vegetables, are cheaper than a dozen. And in some areas, actually. And it's actually cheaper than people think, okay, you have to have a plate full of meat, fish to eat. And no, no. You can have all the proteins in plant-based aspect. And I'm not saying everybody should be vegetarians or anything, but to think that the dish in all those frivolous items make the dish. No, nutrition could be simple. Sleeping also, we talk about all the things we can do to sleep well, exercises, listening to meditation, you know, drinking a lot of water, keeping away from something that will keep you worried, not to sleep. So those things are there. Stress relief things, habits. Stress relief habits, that's a lot. People can put stress on you, let me tell you, whether it's your job, your children, or friends, family members, anything. The sun out there, even how hot it is, can put stress on you. The prices of things, so many things can put stress, stress on people. But how do you relieve that? Relieve that. Okay. You have to find habits to come into yourself. Some of my episodes have that. You can come into a quiet place for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be a whole day or a whole hour, few minutes. And I was talking to a friend today who she had a rough day at the office. And I was doing my work and she called. I picked up the phone. I said, where are you? She sounded bad. I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, oh, it's bad. It's bad. She now was also working on the other aspect. And this time she was just climbing up and down a man-made kind of step in the field. And I'm like, she goes, girl, I feel much better. Just 5 minutes into this, I said, see, the benefit of exercise. And we were talking for quite a few minutes and then we went away. And it's funny that she did that because that's always what we talked about. Because when you start getting rid of all those little things that bother you, life can be much, much better. We gain from that rather than worrying about, the numbers. We're talking age here. Instead of thinking, oh gosh, I'm now 60, da da da, or 70, da da da, or 50, da da da. Think about the things you are still capable of doing. And, if you ask the next, whatever number you are talking about, they may not even care about their numbers. Some of us really don't care about numbers. I'll share that about me. We don't really care about numbers. When they come around, we embrace it as it is and let it go. Because every day is a gift. When you think back to the people you used to know who were your age mates, they are gone. They did not achieve less, they did not achieve more. They weren't uglier, they weren't more beautiful. Life dished them the same thing they dished you, but now they are gone. And you hear talking about age, just think about it. The other proposed practical evidence based aspect is practicing physical kindness. What does that mean? Physical kindness is being kind to your own physique. If you can move around for 30 minutes in a day without sitting still, that is being kind to your body. Okay? For those that are aging, we talk about walking. People have talked about yoga. Nowadays, you hear about Tai Chi a whole lot. Um, um, you have to just get mobile to protect your mobility. That's all this is all about. Make sure you do that, and you're boosting your mood. I don't know how many of you have gone to exercise nowadays, like outside or not, and then you come back, even if it is 15 to 20, 30 minutes. You feel your mood is like, the energy increases. You can now do things you've been putting off for a long time. That's the way of doing that. For certain ages, maybe from 60 or 50 upwards, um, people have talked to them about, oh, go to the gym, go to the gym. Just remember, according to the discussions in the social media, at a certain age, you don't really need to go carry the irons in the gym or raise those big heavy panels, because your bones and everything, your muscles cannot sustain them. You are now actually putting yourself at the risk of accidents from those big bells and all that. So what they say your body needs is a kind of activity that will increase your heart rate and increase your mobility and help you just move. So that's that one. They didn't mention running, they didn't mention all that, because some of those will really have impact on your knees and all that. So read more about that, or maybe we come back to the types of activities that are meant for a certain age as we go. So the third one says we must adjust our body language. Um, when you tell your body some things, the body listens and behaves. So some people will say, "Oh, I'm getting old," and they start actually bending before their system bends. So you are listening to your inner stuff that you need to deconstruct. That you are of a certain age, and so nobody expects you to. No, 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 no. This is actually the time to straighten your spine, hold your head up. Okay, maintain open posture, stand straight, walk straight, as if you really owned own the land or the road. What are you doing? These are affecting. Yeah, you hold your head straight and walk straight. It's affecting your protruding your confidence. It helps boost your confidence actually, and influence your emotional aspect as well. It also helps your brain health, if you believe it or not. So the way you carry your body, yeah, some people may say, oh, you are being proud also. No, you're not. You're really trying to help your body. Remember that age is just a number. You still got whatever your organs. The chronology number is different from the biological number. The biological age are your organs in your body, how they age and how they stay young are your responsibilities, or is your responsibility. And these are from exercises and how you comport your day-to-day aspect. Number 4 is telling us to learn new skills. And some people like, at my age, what can I learn? Learn anything. It doesn't matter. If you haven't crocheted before, maybe you should go find a needle and wool and start crocheting. That's something new. There is always something new. If you cannot get to the internet, if you are, like not tech savvy, you can go to your neighborhood, old people's area, or just go to anybody else, anything that is going on there. It's never too late. You can sit at any store and learn how to do stuff. Okay. Anything. Okay. Take a class, like they will say, take any class, um, play an instrument. Even playing in a band or in a drum or something, flute. Try a new hobby. What is it that you love to do that you've never done? This is the time to try that. You know, continuous learning. They have told us triggers your brain health. Okay, And it builds that neural energy in you and the neural corrections of whatever else is there. So we are encouraged to learn new skills, and they've shared that the benefits are enormous. Volunteer or mentor. Okay, now at your age, whether you are 50, 60, 70, or 80, one of the things that sets you apart from the younger ones are your experiences. You've lived, you know what to share. They wanted the younger ones. They need to hear from you. What have you got? You may say they won't listen. They listen. The only thing is that we're not talking enough. Okay. Share it whichever way you think they will hear that. They may not be at a particular medium. Um, Try everything. Word of mouth is good. Talking to them one on one, talking to them all in at once, any situation you have. Go to their schools, go to their homes, meet them where they go to their, when they invite you or they didn't invite you to their fora or forums, go, you know, give them wisdom. Share your life experience. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, they will learn from that. Okay. The younger generation, especially, they need to hear. Your fellow age grade needs to hear that. What it does, it provides this sense of purpose, just not just for you, for also them who are learning from you. And it's also a way for those of you who don't have anybody around you to combat isolation. You are in the public, you are there, you're giving, and you're taking back without even you knowing it. Okay? The number six says, reframe, reframe the narrative. See, all of us, especially those who loathe being or getting to that aging aspect, they have, and we talked about it earlier, the construction in their minds, the narrative that, oh, the world is coming to an end because they are aging. As we heard it before, reconstruct that or deconstruct that, sorry, and replace that decline, those negative thoughts, with the fresh positive mindset of longevity. Okay, instead of thinking, oh, I'm counting the days to my death, why don't you count the days to fun and more fun till, yeah, nobody lives forever, till the good old, knocks on our door. It is time to just live while we are still alive. We say that. My fellow women, especially, I keep telling them that you're putting off tomorrow what you can do today, putting on, especially those of you who no longer have little ones to care for. This is your time. Who says you can't go back to school now? Oh, you're gonna go. I've heard lots of people say, I'm gonna sit in the classroom with my grandchildren and those were like, yeah, why not? It's fun. In fact, they will embrace you for making that attempt. In fact, your children will be so proud that they are. Mom, after all this, is willing to, you may not even go get a job with it later on. There are free classes out there that you could go learn something new. It doesn't have to turn into money-making thing. It could be just for you, um, something new. Okay? Um, the idea of that is also to make sure that those that are watching you grow old and making and having the fun of it will learn. Believe me, the younger ones are looking to us to say, hey, if that person is doing this, one of them once said that, oh, the good thing in our community or society is that we have people who are of a certain age with 16-year-old mindset or young age mindset. They are not taking it in a negative way. They are really saying it in a fun way because you could converse with them in their own language or their own understanding without losing your own adulthood or your mentorship or that aspect. So when you're thinking of that longevity aspect, You learning things new. You doing all the steps we say from 1 to 5 of living, learning, and putting it forward. Okay. The finding of older role models is one thing that we need to really focus on as well. There are people in our midst who are older than us, who are aging, earlier than us, or who are aging, in advance of us. Let me put it that way. Sorry. And we look at them, we marvel, like, wow, this person can still do this, this person is on a job to do this. And when do you actually ask their really chronological age, you can't believe that. Because their biological ages are functioning so well that their biological age is really at a good place that the chronological age doesn't matter. The numbers, they are 10, they're 20, they're 50, they're 100, it does not matter because their inner aspect is doing all the good stuff. Okay. So with that, you adapt, you can talk to them, get some of their mind, thinking. You can also learn from their challenges. There are some of them who have serious health challenges, but you will never know. And they are going about things. And if you have similar challenges, it's always good to find them and talk to them and see how they cope. Those are the things that we are asking people to think about, look about. And finally, to shift your mindset from that negative aspect to positive way of embracing this aging period. Step away from imitating others. That is always the big deal. When you imitate others, when you envy others, when you are jealous of others, and you go out of your comfort zone to be like them, you've lost your own sense of balance. The equilibrium, is gone. And so you start fetching, and what you're grabbing on will be just empty air to help you stand. So when they said that, many people who read from me always hear me say that, be you, do you. When you do that, you are standing on original. You are not borrowing from anybody. It doesn't mean you don't learn from others. You learn, but you customize it to your own, ways of doing things, to your own lifespan, to your own lifestyle, to your own everything. But when you do that, you don't envy anyone, are not jealous of anyone, you don't talk down on anyone, you are not gossiping with anyone, you don't about somebody else. It's how to make your life better, how to make things better for you, where you stand, how you do your stuff. And maybe somebody else is looking at you and learning from you. So you better make it good. But you cannot function in a very progressive way when you are not being yourself. Be you, do you. Stop imitating others. It's good to learn from others who you think have something good to give you. But if you are not them and you want to do them, be them, you lose your balance. And when you lose your balance, nothing else is going to be stable. Okay? So hopefully those are 8 helping tips that are practical and they are evidence-based. They are not just fetched from the air, they work, are good enough or will be helpful enough for those of you who are finding it difficult to embrace aging, who hate aging, and not knowing what to do about it. Now, one aspect I wanted to share is that some people go about trying to change aging by changing their physical outside. When you change your physical outside, again, remember, you just changing your biological age, which doesn't work well, because it may not now. You may think, okay, the chronological age is changed in the way that nobody will know you're 50 again. They think you're 40. But guess what? Your organs are still, unless you're doing something really great with it, it's still going to tell. Your lifestyle is going to tell. And remember, the aging process is natural. No matter how much bleaching you do on your body, the skin will show that it's bleaching. No matter how much plastic surgery you do, I'm not saying don't do those, please. That's not the impact. But remember what the outcome could be. I'm just saying that, especially for my young ones. Take a look at those, for example, go to the celebrity pages where people have tried to alter their images to look differently from their chronological age or from their biological age and all that stuff to because they load aging. Go and see how they are looking now because you can't cheat nature. You cannot. Those of you who love Botox shots, I'm not saying don't do that. Whatever makes you happy, do. But it comes back to haunt because your frozen faces from those Botox shots might make you look flamboyant and glamorous today, but tomorrow, how are you going to look? When you look at people walking around, they are supposed to be of a chronological age, but they look younger or they look better, they look than even when they were younger. Some people wonder, what did they do? It's all natural. They did not fight it. They embraced it. They just used whatever nature that God gave to keep getting themselves from day one to day two to day three. And most importantly, they looked at the tips that we gave you and they are embarking on those 8 aspects. So learning something new, being out there helping, mentoring, and, living life the way it's being recommended are ways to do those. So hopefully today we shared with you what could be done, what has, the items that have been proven to help you think beyond hitting the age or aging process, but trying to be part of it and make the best of it. So I hope we've given you some. And if you want to refer to that again, go back to the episode 28 and then get back to episode 29 to see what the chronology is. Now, the next one, the last aspect we're going to talk about the next episode will be talking about how the world sees aging. Okay, is it just a one-person thing or is it really rampant out there? What we should also remember is that those people um, uh, who have thought about aging, it's funny to know or to note that adults over 65 years of age, about 49% of them, get that, adults over 65, about 49% of them have embraced aging. They don't have a problem with it. They love it. They're just enjoying it extremely. But on the other hand, adults that are under 65, only 30% are looking forward to aging. Just imagine that. Okay. So if you are one of those, you are over 65, and you're not part of the 49% that are embracing or having joy at their aging, the aging process of where they are, you have a problem. Okay? Because you are just looking forward, counting the days to, the grave, while you should be enjoying every moment that you have for as a gift. For those of you that are under 65 and among the 30% that are saying to the world, I don't want to get old. I don't want to back on the aging process. Think again. Please go back to those 8 tips that I gave to prepare yourself. It's coming. It's natural. It's not going to go away. But what you do with it is all the ball in your court. And with that, I say thank you for listening. You have a good evening or good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. And this is your hostess again, Dr. Marcellina Ndidi M.OPARAOJI, asking you to please subscribe. It's free. Share with people. And until we talk again, sayonara.